from the minority side of the Mines and Energy Committee and some leadership from the National Democratic Congress and a delegation from the chiefs within the area. We are here to observe and inspect for ourselves the level of progress in respect of the Pwalugu multipurpose dam. As you would recall, in 2019, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia were here. They cut the sword for the construction of the Pwalugu multipurpose dam, estimated at almost $1 billion. The President assured that the project will be completed in 48 months. And so as we speak, by now, the project should have been completed and commissioned. We have received numerous reports indicating that no work is being done. And so we are here to witness for ourselves the state of the construction. We've engaged the paramount chief, we've engaged the community, and we are here ourselves to see for ourselves the status of the work. I can confirm to you that so far, almost $12 million has been paid to the contractor. At today's exchange rate of about 16 cedi, that translates to about 192 million Ghana cedis. And as you can see, nothing, and I mean nothing, is being done here. This is the taxpayers' money wasted. We visited the site for the contractor, and you can attest, the contractor has packed and left site. Not only has he abandoned the project, the chippings that he brought there, the few blocks that were molded to even construct the site, our information is that those blocks have been sold. The chippings has equally been sold, and so the taxpayers' money has gone down the drain. My checks in Accra indicates that the contractor has even left Ghana. We find this development very, very unfortunate. From all intents and purposes, this was nothing but an election gimmick to hoodwink the people. Right after the elections, nothing has happened. And so this can best be described as a scam. We therefore call on President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who comes from this area, to fulfill their promise. 6 days ago, we heard Dr. Bawumia state that this project is dear to his heart. And I asked myself, what project is he talking about? Because the project site has been turned into a farming area by the local community. And so we call on Dr. Bawumia to at least honor his promise to his own people. With just about 6 months to the election, it's obvious that this project will not be completed. But let me assure you that on assumption of office, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama would ensure that we prioritize this project. This project can generate 60 megawatts of hydropower, 50 megawatts of solar power, and irrigate thousands and thousands of lands for rice production and other crops. But more importantly, it will serve as a bulwark and as a buffer to ensure that we do not have the perennial flooding that we suffer with water coming up north. And so I'm here with the Honorable Edward Bauer, and so I would hand over to him to also say something as far as this project is concerned. That amount of money, almost 200 million cedis, that has been dashed to this contractor, somebody must be held liable. Somebody must be held accountable. 200 million cedis is no small money. $12 million can do a lot in this country. And so we would use every legitimate means.
Now, over promises in Bayana, then a year. First, we'll be any so. Oka Hoshama, I say so, Vakas and Baya, now here. And one of the guy to move from. We promise party for Munina. But from Mrs. Mbayesi, would you too many year? Now, quiet. Can make a ya Hindino, yes, I net here. Ya pre, Anna Bibia Yakuma. See, dear Yankupon by a beer. Above also handing put the babo. But a monk of profession, man for say, may see, may I may see. We are not quite photo. And credit another key. The Amisra say, the Siragana buying one bobo then, na boami, na Miss Mukroni ye, na me here. It's me by me bafufro. Then Pesaka say, oh, I like you shall buy no. Or some crona perform that be the local one of me here. It's a Miss Ram, NDCO, MPPO, Mumia money. Now, chrono so, and your croquet to dam, a boat dam dear will be an him say the apostle. And ya the fool, a repa, a boagana. Dam de and see, say a genoha, I'm a nipper bacco. Say the Miss Rogana for Mumia money, and Mumboam. Na eye man inshallah na me tire me tu yankopon na ye tumi ba.
Dam project was estimated at $993 million. It was to address three main issues, namely provision of water for irrigation, generation of electricity, and control of the annual flooding of communities in the Upper East and Northeast regions. The 25,000-hectare irrigation scheme was to boost economic activities in the Upper East and Northeast regions. Government in 2021 paid $11.9 million to Chinese contractor MS Power China for the final payment of the Pwalugu irrigation project, which is yet to commence. The Auditor General, in its report for receipts on foreign exchange payments by the Central Bank for 2021, has cited the Bank of Ghana for the payment with no evidence of work done. The contractor has reportedly abandoned the three project sites.
The sun there was at all. There's no even sun on the site. You can't even identify the site.
Apart from some few molded blocks, a strip of sand and chipping stones, nothing is found on the site. Farmers have begun taking over demarcated lands for the project due to the delay in start of the project. Recently, flag bearer of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, during his tour of the northern region, admitted that the long delay in the construction of the Pwalugu multipurpose dam is as a result of financial constraints. He indicated that a government under his leadership will prioritize the construction of the dam.
The Pwalugu Dam will be a priority. We haven't been able to do it so far, but I believe that we can marshal the finances to do it.
But ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, John Jinapo, during a visit to one of the project sites at Kurugu, expressed disappointment in government for wasting almost 200 million cedis for no work done.
I can confirm to you that so far, almost $12 million has been paid to the contractor. At today's exchange rate of about 16 cedi, that translates to about 192 million Ghana cedis. And as you can see, nothing, and I mean nothing, is being done here. This is the taxpayers' money wasted. We visited the site for the contractor, and you can attest the contractor has packed and left site. Not only has he abandoned the project, the chippings that he brought there, the few blocks that were molded to even construct the site, our information is that those blocks have been sold.
He emphasized the next NDC government will activate every legal means possible to retrieve the monies.
We would activate all the parliamentary processes to retrieve that amount of money, almost 200 million cedis, that has been dashed to this contractor.
He reiterated the importance of the dam and assured that the next NDC government will construct the dam to serve its intended.
Last question from you. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Page 23. Page 23. Somewhere you will see final payment for construction of the Pwalugu irrigation project. Yes. Pwalugu irrigation project, final payments. 2-3. At the top there you see the last but one. Final payment for the construction of the Pwalugu irrigation project. The question is, I thought probably before payments are made, contractors present certificates. Because when you get to Pwalugu, there's nothing there. There's no even a pole. There's no even a signboard. And if the contractor is taking $11 million, there's nothing. There is no even a what do we call it? Like a container. You can't even see the project site. So what certificate was presented before this money was paid? That's my question. Oh. The sun there was at all. There's no even sun on the site. You can't even identify the site. I want to know.
In the northern part of our country where you come from, and Amono, can you beat your chest and say, yeah, yet this signature project in the north? I
think here the most important project here in the north since independence, a Pwalugu Dam project.
Okay.
Is the biggest investment. Say we're drawing books no since independence.
Okay. How watch
government be by say Pwalugu Dam. But we're here as a signature project and in Ebeda number one. So there's no doubt about that. Pwalugu Dam, no, it's
a few moments later.
I have no doubt in my mind that I was championing the Pwalugu Dam. We have not yet been able to do it, but by the grace of God, I believe we are going to do the Pwalugu Dam. It has to be done. It's a major priority because that can bring 23,000 hectares into cultivation. No doubt in my mind that I was championing the Pwalugu Dam. We have not yet been able to do it, but by the grace of God, I believe we are going to do the Pwalugu Dam. It has to be done. It's a major priority because that can bring 23,000 hectares into cultivation.
In the northern part of our country where you come from, and Amono, can you beat your chest and say, yeah, yet this signature project in the north?
I think here the most important project here in the north since independence, a Pwalugu Dam project.
Okay.
Is the biggest investment. Say we're drawing books no since independence.
Okay. How watch
government be by say Pwalugu Dam. But we're here as a signature project and in Ebeda number one. So there's no doubt about that. Pwalugu Dam, no, it's
a few moments later.
I have no doubt in my mind that I
Game, Glovo, Nivea, Big Pen, Dark and Lovely have all shut down. Unilever has relocated its tea production to Nigeria, and amid all this, our public debts now hit a staggering 658.6 billion Ghana cedis. But we cannot despair over the poor quality of governance that has served us in the last 7.5 years. I wish to use this opportunity to appeal to you, captains of industry and the investor community, to tarry a bit more. Please don't leave our country. It is said that the darkest hour is before the dawn. The beauty of our democracy is that it affords us the opportunity to change our current trajectory. You can rest assured that a new NDC administration will work with you to create a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. Together, we'll expand your businesses to create more opportunities for an increasingly youthful population.
The former president, while speaking on the economy, indicated that over 800,000 Ghanaians were pushed below the poverty line due to 8 years of poor leadership and mismanagement of the economy.
Today we stand at a critical and troubling crossroads. Our beloved country, Ghana, has become a bankrupt, collapsed economy due to poor leadership of almost 8 years. This leadership has failed Ghanaians and yet refuses to accept or even take responsibility for the most reckless management of our economy known in previous history. This has plunged our nation into an unprecedented economic crisis and is reported to have pushed more than 800,000 of our fellow citizens below the poverty line. Unemployment has jumped to 14.7% from 8.5% in 2017. Despite this government...
Our routine in the area of development, we are doing better than the economy that he was managing as president. Now, beyond this, as I said, one has to go beyond the routine because in getting the business economy to move and the business sector to thrive, we need ideas, we need transformational ideas, we need to change our system. And this is what we have been doing over the last few years, to also trying to change the system. And this is why digital transformation has been very important for us. You've seen us bringing in many digital reform. Our routine in the area of development, we are doing better than the economy that he was managing as president. Now, beyond this, as I said, one has to go beyond the routine because in getting the business economy to move and the business sector to thrive, we need ideas, we need transformational ideas, we need to change our...
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was them, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry, we are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our bank to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country, wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Wednesday, the 29th day of May, 2024. By His grace, we are live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the very privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic National Development Series. Take charge of your health. Professor Kosa tells citizenry. NDC NPP in tussle over ambulance case. Special voting slated for December 2. Review NHIS. Professor Abosi. And there's a special supplement on Asantini's Silver Jubilee. The Ghanaian Times. Ghana launches Vision 2057. As NDPC aims at elevating country to upper middle income status. Ghana commemorates World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Second Lady calls for collective support for girls. Court cautions against commentary on 2.37 million euros ambulance case. ECOWAS countries urge to embrace digitalization. Daily Guide. 2.37 million euro ambulance case. We are not interested in your politics. Judge cautions. Samia Oku is CEO of the year. EC holds special voting December 2. AG will not resign, NPP. Samira urges menstrual hygiene awareness. The New Crusading Guide. 2.37 million euros ambulance case. Phone recording attempt to shield Atuforce in MPP. I didn't petition CJ for Kisia Jabin's dismissal. Matiamedu infers. NDC calls for AG's head of audio tape. SSNIT hotels made losses. Former board member justifies sale. NPP USA honors Napaga Tia Sulemana. Bulk energy storage and transportation dazzles at Ghana CEOs Summit 2024. The insights. Ambulance trial case. AG must go. NDC demands in light of explosive audio recording. CD crisis. Dr. Siedu Sapon tells Baumia to revisit pre-2017 CD restoration notes. Bese Manche settles dispute between Somena family and Swalaba Cortes. Remove Cuba from state sponsors of terrorism list. Socialist movement Ghana tells United States. The Herald. NPP turns Justice Yoni Kulendi's integrity into Chichinga. Suggests he conspired with cousin to ditch Attorney General. Martin Amedu leaves people confused again. Runs from petition to remove special prosecutor. NPA, GNP, TDU, and other stakeholders sign MOU to improve service conditions for 5,000 tanker drivers and mates. Farmers shocked at $12 million blown on ghost Pwalugu Dam project. GMPC Takrady office almost ready. The Informer. Ambulance trial case. Judge warns politicians of unguarded utterances. Says final decision rests with her. $993 million Pwalugu project. Parliament calls for probe. Contractors threaten government over non-payment. I'm committed to ROPA. Baumia. Sami Oku wins double. Grabs overall CEO in public sector and lottery industry. The Inquisitor. NDC strips dummy over alleged witness tampering. TUC exposed in SSNIT hotel sale. Adamos Resources addresses Kiwi. Sami Oku named Public Sector CEO of the Year again. NPP USA honors Napaga Tia. The Daily Statesman. Leave AG and courts to do their work. NPP tells NDC. Ochiene Lords upon Nkrumah. NDPC launches Vision 2057. Yao Sapon Boatin elected ANIC Vice Chair. The Metro Lens. NDC desperate to shield Atuforce from accountability. NPP accuses. Political vendetta alleged in prosecution of minority leader. NDC calls for Attorney General's resignation. Nick Danso Ajay adjudged Maritime and Trade CEO of the Year at 8th Ghana CEO Summit. Otumfuo said to the second, demystifies Freemasonry? That's a question. The Accra Times, NDC strips aging naked with incontrovertible evidence. Akando accuses NPP of diverting critical funds meant for the NHIS. At the 8th CEO Summit, Margins ID Group tops all. Be transparent on hotel sale, Afenyo marking to SSNIT. Help resolve rising cost of cement, Yusuf Suleimana tells government. The Ghanaian publisher, Atuforcing trial, NPP rallies behind Dame, says NDC's Jakpa tape doctored. NPP secretaries refute allegations against Collins in team. EC sets December 2 for special voting. Former SSNIT board member wades into hotel saga. Dares critics to offer options. NPA boss grabs leadership award. The custodian. Dami will stay to protect public purse. NPP to NDC. Keep up your hard work. Ochi to upon Kruma. 2024 special voting on December 2. The new finder. Salt project delights AGI as Accra Tema branches to Electrochem. NDC and NPP sharply divide over Jakpa Dami audio. CBG expands presence with 5 new branch openings. NLA Director General retains Best Public Sector CEO Award. The Daily Post. Dami caught pants down as he secretly recorded coaching an accused person to lie in court. Godfrey Dami's conduct is disgraceful. Frank Davis should not defend it. NPP National Executive. Front page comments. Godfrey Dami is damaged goods. He's finished as an Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Akufo-Addo's government was corrupt in Ghana's history. Ansa Asare. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Machasi.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
Yes, Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint, gives me fresh breath, and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point.
Fortune spread. Delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Welcome to .com.
Papa is walking.
Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of Wibia. And so, Yareti Sapa,
spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Herbal Hospital.
pay only after the goods have been delivered, because that's also the contract, not so.
Yes, but then the financial instrument for the project is an irrevocable letter of credit. So that credit letter has already been sent.
Hold on, no problem. But in my view, that letter of credit area, the contract requires that you pay by letters of credit, not so.
Yes, in addition, we should establish it upon the sign of the contract. So already you have paid.
Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes. Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance, since there was no advance mobilization, advance payment, that LC was a security that you have to establish ahead.
No problem. The signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance. Is it the contract for the contract for every 50 ambulance?
Pardon?
Is it the contract for? I'm saying upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes.
Is it the contract for every 50 ambulance?
The contract is for 200 ambulances in tranches of 50.
Good, hold on. So that contract for 50 ambulances is different from this one?
No. The contract is one contract for 200 ambulances, which has been broken down within the contract for every few. You establish LC for every 50 tranche. So you have 4 LCs for the 200 ambulances.
No, that part I disagree with you. But if you look at the terms of the contract, it's quite clear. And it should not be difficult for you to accept, because really it doesn't put you in any problem at all. That does not put you into any difficulty. And you know the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance. So for me, if you accept that, then it doesn't put you into any difficulty.
The problem I have in accepting that for you, is that in there are letters that confirm that, both from government and from our principal, that is for every 50 ambulances. That confirms that. And I'll be tendering those letters in. So I cannot go against what the letters say and the contract say, because I was the agent at that time. Japan Business was the agent.
Hold on. LCs on site. Payment shall be in euros. First, we said there shall be no advance payment.
Yes.
What does advance payment mean?
What it means is that you are not the supplier was not going to be paid any cash, any money for him to use in procuring all the accessories and everything to manufacture. So the manufacturer will use his own money to buy the ambulance vans, all the accessories from across the globe, with the security from government being the LC. And the LC has conditions precedent.
Hold on. Okay. Yes, advance payment don't mean paying in advance of the delivery of the goods.
They said no advance payment.
Yes, advance payment means that you are paying before the goods are delivered to you.
No, they said no advance payment. Not that there's advance payment. Yes. No advance. Mean that you will not pay.
Yes, until the goods are delivered to you. Not so.
Yes.
Yeah, so until the goods are delivered, you don't pay at all.
You don't pay.
Not so. So, and then also it goes ahead to say that payment shall be in a free manner. LCs on site of goods. In fact, what is the even LC on site of goods? What does it mean?
What LC on site of goods means is that when you ship the documents, when you ship the goods, when you ship the goods from your port of origin, the bill of lading of the goods is what you use as
LC on site of goods means means when the goods have been shipped.
They have been shipped.
Not and then the goods have been delivered in Ghana.
No, when the goods have been shipped, because you have gone to do pre-shipment. So what I'm trying to explain is that you use the bill of lading. You use a bill of lading. You use a bill of lading.
You establish the LCs after pre-shipment inspection. That one. No dispute about that.
No, the LC is established as soon as you sign the contract. You establish the LC, and that becomes the security comfort for the supplier to invest his money.
It says LCs on site of goods are reserved upon the signing of the contract.
Yes.
For every 50 ambulances.
Yes.
Yes. Which contract is this? It's not a contract for every 50 ambulances. So in under this main contract. This was like the main contract.
The main contract and LC for every 50 of the 200. So the contract is not saying that government should establish one LC which is 15.8 million euros for the whole 200 at a go. No. Government has a bulk contract of 15.8 million euros. Now, this contract will become, the ambulance will be coming in tranches of 50 ambulances. So you establish your LC for the 50. When that 50 have been delivered and everything sorted out and handed over, another LC is established for another subsequent 50 until you finish all the 200. That is what the contract says. So the LC that was established.
Even then, hold on. I don't agree with your explanation. But even then, this explanation, that's not what happened in this case.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, that's not what happened. Yes, because the LC was established even before pre-shipment inspection.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
There was no pre-shipment inspection. So, so it means there was no basis for the LC to be established in the first place.
No.
That's really not your problem anyway.
Right, that place, in that particular place, you are getting it wrong. If you may have patience for me to explain to you. You are getting it wrong there because when you establish LC, the LC had conditions precedent for it to be on it. And the condition precedent says that you can only cash the LC when you present shipping documents, which is bill of lading, to the Ghana International Bank of the buyer. Before the LC can be honored. So even though the LC was established upon the signing of the contract, was supposed to be established upon the signing of the contract, it cannot be cashed or honored. It becomes a form of security for the supplier to invest his own money. And when he ships the ambulances, he can then send a bill of lading to your bankers to then honor the LC, because that is a condition precedent.
But in any case, in this case, even the LC was actually cashed. Everything. That payment was actually made before the goods were shipped.
No.
The goods got to Ghana.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't have the supply. There is no way under the sun he could have cashed the LC before the shipping document, which were condition precedent, was presented to Ghana International Bank. Even when he presented the document to Ghana International Bank refused to honor the LC, raising issues of discrepancy, which came back to Bank of Ghana, which later went to the Ministry of Health, and then Animana authorized Bank of Ghana through Ministry of Finance to pay because they had sorted out the discrepancies with Big C. That time, around this time, the ambulances had already arrived in Ghana. You are not privy to this one, I'm telling you.
In my view, if we agree to this theory, it's so simple, the theory of the case.
Not agree to the way you want to go, the way you want to go about it.
So let's agree. Let's describe it that way. Let's describe it that way. Do you want to go about it?
Okay,
if fine. Agree this way, it makes it simple.
Yes, it will make
it doesn't also involve. It doesn't involve any difficulty for you.
Yes, I agree. I understand your point.
When you say there's no advancement, yes. When you say there's no advancement, ordinarily meaning in Ghana that you don't pay until you get your goods. Now the contract here, even the clear terms, unless maybe you guys did not draft the contract, it says LCs on site of goods shall be established upon the signing of the contract for every future.
No, the contract was drafted by government. It was done by government.
Oh, yes.
And it was an AG department perused the contract and approved the contract for government.
It is not a problem whether they approve it. Every contract is actually approved before later when they are implementing it. Then problems.
You see, what the difficulty I have with your position is that, you see, frankly speaking, fine, as you are saying, if I agree to your position, how you want to go about it and how you want me to go about my answering questions and things, if I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest, because I know that is not how it's supposed to be, and I'll be dishonest in such a way that I'll be assisting for someone I know is completely innocent about this. For example, Atu Forsen to be jailed because I knew something was wrong, was not the way, and I decided to keep quiet and to answer the question in a way that will make your case better for you to jail him. I'll be battling with my conscience.
That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Yonikulende, when I went to Yonikulende's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. Because me, for example, I am in this case because I'm innocent and I'm going through ordeal. So I'm looking at another person also going to go through ordeal and through me because I know the truth and I decide not to say it because I want to help the AG make his case. And I ask myself, what is my interest in it?
I'm not asking you to really help me. I'm just going by it. But anyway, so that's fine. So this one was even just by the way.
I hope you get my difficulty.
It's on the phone. I don't even know that.
Oh no. Don't worry about that one. My issue. I'm just. Oh no. You and I will be meeting. You'll be meeting me at my cousin's place. And you've been bringing this issue up several times, and I keep telling you that I can't do that because it doesn't sit well with me.
Look at the terms of contract. The terms of contract are simple. It is on sites have established upon the side of the contract for every ambulance.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah.
It's for every. So when you see the hand for every 50 ambulance, means that it's not only the 50.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
For every. It means that it is not only 50.
All right.
Mean that there are a lot of 50s that will be following. So that is what I was trying to explain to you. So frankly speaking, the LC that was established was as a security for the supplier to invest his own money since there's no advance.
Yes, it is the same that was used to pay. Because LC was the means of payment and the agreement.
Yes. When the conditions precedents are met.
Which is what? That agrees that they have some documents.
That he has the bill of ladings, the ambulance have been shipped and the bill of ladings are presented. That is when you can catch the LC. So until you ship the ambulances, you can't catch the ambulance, you can't catch the LC.
But it was that in this case also.
Yes, in this case, yes. When he shipped the ambulances, he then presented their documents to Ghana International Bank. And then Ghana International Bank refused to honor the LC and raised issues of discrepancies, which was later cleared by Animana at the Ministry of Health for payment to proceed. And that is how he was paid.
Yes.
So, in frankly speaking, if there's somebody who authorized this payment to go on, even though in Ghana International Bank raised issues of discrepancies, it's Animana. He was authorizing those payments.
But you include when you had the Bank of Ghana officials and the Minister of officials and even Setepe say that no payment can go on except with Minister of Finance authorization. There's no way Minister of Health will authorize. In fact, Minister of Health actually even their letter they said no, they should go ahead and produce ambulances.
After that letter that SSNIT wrote that they should suspend production, those things was contrary to the terms of the contract, and that letter went to your office, the AG's office, and the AG debunked that letter and wrote his legal opinion and told her that they should proceed. So AG, that letter had been destroyed by your department, by your ministry. So that letter is of no value. It is the AG's legal opinion that overrode that letter, and Minister of Finance had to implement the AG's opinion.
Yeah. And by the AG's legal opinion, the terms of contract will be honored.
Yes.
Or the terms of contract will be breached.
And because they were already breached, and the AG wanted them to honor it. So that SSNIT's letter that you want to rely on is of no value.
They honor it. Honor the terms of contract.
The ministry. Yeah, they still didn't honor some part of the contract. They honored the LC part. But when it came to the pre-shipment inspection, they refused to honor that particular part.
Okay.
So they waived their right to go and inspect. And then they turn around and blame people for you not going to inspect to rectify any manufacturing defect that the pre-shipment inspection was meant to cure. So SSNIT, through her negligence and refusal to implement the pre-shipment inspection, created this problem. That's what I was trying to head.
The reason for that is that's my timetable for the rest of the
that means that you are not going to be around.
So yeah. And then even next week, the whole of next week I'll not be around. If there's a way of if you not even finishing next week, I would appreciate.
Oh, no. Okay, no. I'll not finish next week. I don't think I'll be able to finish because the documents are many. So you will surely go and come and meet me.
Oh, no,
but that will also depend upon the judge's behavior.
You can bring one medical excuse next week.
Okay.
Yes,
okay, fine. If you bring a medical excuse next week.
I think you. How can I bring a medical excuse?
No, you are saying that I should bring a medical excuse next week.
You can if you want.
But brother, you want this one to issue bench warrant for me again?
Right. Anyway.
Because you can see that I was really in admission, struggling for my life, and she issued bench warrant for me to be arrested, and my name was put everywhere.
That's right.
Now, if I go and do another one, as you are saying, my brother, this woman will issue another bench warrant for me and destroy the little of my reputation left. She will destroy it.
All right. No
problem. But you will surely go and come and meet me still talking. So don't worry.
No problem. All right.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have Kwesi Pratt Jr., who's the managing editor of the Inside newspaper, and also Eric Amwakuchum, who's a spokesperson for government and also a member of Baumia 2024. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Randy.
All right, so if you're thinking of getting a toothpaste for the entire family, which is also affordable and is of top quality and also approved by the Food and Drugs Authority, then look no further. It is KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. KEL 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging, irrespective of your age, but worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple, self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods to. Wheelchairs can fit in, and it comes in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lifts and Elevators at Sakuma or just call them on 0200535515 or send them mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. So, gentlemen, the tip we played earlier is the now very, very famous Godfrey Dame Jakpa tape. And that is what has become the big news as far as the front pages are concerned. Now, the NDC told us last week that they were actually going to hold a presser yesterday, Tuesday, and then play a tape or some tapes with respect to this. The MPP also, I believe, yesterday morning or Monday, late in the day, I saw a flyer which also indicated that they were going to hold a presser at 4 p.m. after the NDC one at 2 p.m. So if you look at page 5 of the finder, it says NDC, NPP sharply divide over Jakpa Dame audio. And it says that the NDC and the NPP are sharply divided over Mr. Godfrey Dame's recorded conversation with Mr. Richard Jakpa, the third accused person. While the NDC is demanding the dismissal and prosecution of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, The NPP strongly opposes this call, describing it as misplaced and asserting that Mr. Dami's credibility remains unblemished. And the NDC led by its General Secretary Asedun Ketia was first to brief the media. He declared that the future NDC government will prosecute the current Attorney General, Mr. Dami, for alleged professional misconduct in the ongoing ambulance purchase case if it's not sanctioned. He asserted that his party has sufficient evidence to establish a criminal case against the Attorney General, whom he described as unfit for office and should be disbarred. He says, we're calling for immediate prosecution of Dami for multiple violations of the laws of Ghana. Should President Kufuor refuse or fail to prosecute him, a future NDC government will prosecute Dami for his heinous crime of fabricating evidence. Additionally, the General Legal Council should commence disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Dami for conduct and becoming of a lawyer, and more importantly, the leader of the Ghana Bar. Okay. And they say that we want to state for the records that there have not been any plea bargain meetings between the Attorney General and the third accused throughout this trial. All the letters being circulated by the Attorney General and the media dated 27th April 2023, 16th May 2023, 30th May 2023, and 12th June 2023 were proposals for amicable settlement and plea bargaining from Big C LLC and Mr. Jakpa. Okay. So we have played the tape and you have seen that. But 2 hours after the NDC's press conference, the MPP mounted a spirited defense of Mr. Dami, asserting that his credibility remains unblemished. Despite accusations from the NDC, the MPP accused the NDC of attempting to help Dr. Forson evade justice in the ambulance case. The chairman of the Legal and Constitutional Committee of the MPP, Frank Davis, who's a lawyer, who addressed the media, said accusations leveled against Mr. Dami are merely attempts to prevent him from holding Dr. Forson accountable. He stressed that the claim that Dr. Forson was being prosecuted for being the minority leader was baseless and devoid of truth. He stated that the law is blind to titles and political affiliations and it's the duty of every citizen to uphold the law. Mr. Davis further emphasized that the prosecution is solely based on the evidence at hand and not on Dr. Forson's political standing. He pointed out the prosecution of Dr. Forson commenced even before he became minority leader, making the suggestion that he is being prosecuted because he's the minority leader of the NDC worthless and nonsensical. He therefore dismissed calls for Mr. Dami to resign. Quote, we are clear in our minds that the calls for the resignation of the Attorney General is misplaced and warranted, and this would not put any spokes in the prosecution of Kesila Forson and his associates. And the MPP national organizer, Henry Nanabuachi, defended Attorney General, stating that his credibility remains unblemished. He described Attorney General as one of the most hardworking and intelligent in the Republic and dismissed the NDC's allegations as manipulated facts. He praised the Attorney General's hard work and stated that no amount of shenanigans against him will suffice. Kwesi?
Randy.
Yes, sir.
First, the tape we have listened to,
yes,
is not the tape which has been in discussion for about 3 days or 3 days prior to the release of this particular tape. All of us had believed that the tape recording that was done in the house of a Supreme Court judge. As it turns out, this tape recording is of a conversation between the Attorney General and the third accused person, Richard Jakpa. In the morning, before 7:30 in the morning. And from the conversation, it is clear that the Attorney General placed this call. And this is a day before Jakpa was supposed to give evidence in court. You understand? Now, again, from this tape recording and the conversations, it is clear that the claim that the Attorney General was set up, and that he was more or less lured to the house of a Supreme Court judge and so on, are not true. It is clear. You understand? Now, I'm feeling sick already. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'm really feeling sick. I'm really feeling sick. Now, after this, how can anybody have confidence in the system that we run today? After this, I'm so embarrassed. I'm ashamed. Look, for the Attorney General to call an accused person and to tell the accused person that, look, I'm going to travel. I don't want to be in court. So you, the accused person, get a fake medical report, present it to the court so that the trial will not come on and I'll have the opportunity to travel. My goodness. Forget the ambulance case. Forget everything else and concentrate on this one. Where would this be tolerated? Where in the world would this be tolerated? Who in his right conscience can defend this? I don't know what to say. I mean, this is it's so mind-boggling. And then the accused person turns around and tells the Attorney General that, oh, if you can get the fake medical report, go and get it for me. And then the accused person tells the Attorney General that, look, I don't want to destroy my image. And so, unbelievable. Now, why have we been trying to throw some Supreme Court judge under the bus? Because this has nothing to do with the Supreme Court judge. This was not recorded in the house of the Supreme Court judge.
This is a telephone conversation.
It's a telephone conversation. Had nothing. And then
between two people.
Between two people. And then in this telephone conversation, Randy, the striking thing is that the two of them, that is the accused person and the Attorney General, agree that they will meet in the Supreme Court judge's house. Or that there have been meetings in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I think he referred to meetings.
Meetings.
Yes.
And that the meetings will continue. And yet we have a situation in which we are being told that the Attorney General went to the Supreme Court judge's house not knowing that Japa was going to appear and that he was trapped. How could he have been trapped? You see, those who make public commentary, one thing they should never assume is that all of us are stupid idiots. They shouldn't assume
but
that.
Was it a danger?
They have no right to assume that all of us are idiots.
The danger, because the danger, and I'm sure that you've experienced this many times, is that sometimes you're given information and it's made to, or you're given the impression that that is all the information. And on the basis of that, you also run to town.
Yeah,
only to have X on your faces. Yeah, only to have X on your faces.
Everybody who is giving you information, and I practice journalism, Masa. I've practiced, yeah, years. I've been in the practice. And Master, I've had experiences where public officials have actually made statements. And they did not know that the statements had been recorded many times, you know. And they would deny statements that they have made. So the rule, I mean, in those days was that you bring your notebook. The reporter, you bring your notebook. And then they examine how you wrote your notes and so on. And if you have a tape recorder, even better. Public officials will always put you in trouble. Always. So journalists who take everything that public officials give them without cross-checking and rush to publication and so on, they do so at their own peril. Master, this tape, and I'm waiting for evidence that this tape has been doctored.
Right, Kwesi, when you listen,
that's the point I'm making, Randy. If you listen to this tape,
it's a seamless conversation.
There's no way you can come to the conclusion
that
it's
answer, statement, rebuttal.
It's so sequented.
Yeah.
That you can't make the claim that it has been doctored. You know, honestly, I feel sad. I also feel sad for the Attorney General.
Why?
Oh, young person.
You know, at the point, if you listen to the tape, at the point, when Jakpa raised the issue about he should not have been on trial, he feels that he's been, he didn't say persecuted, but he used the word. And so he cannot subject another person to the same thing. At that point, the Attorney General made a statement to the effect that I hope that this conversation is not being recorded.
But that's damning.
I mean, which presupposes that
he knew that what he was doing was wrong.
Maybe he found, I mean, if it were to go out, it would be inappropriate.
Exactly. He was very uncomfortable with what he was doing. I mean, this is, and let me explain why I feel sad for the Attorney General. This is a young man, clear young man, who has risen through hard work to become leader of the bar. Because as Attorney General is leader of the bar.
Yes.
And for him to throw all this away just like that, it's painful. I mean, you have to pity him. What? What is this?
I mean, if you are,
what is this?
If you are speaking with a person who is on trial, and the person tells you that I'm continuing with my case, and then you say that on the basis of your itinerary, you will not be available for a certain period.
So he should do you a favor.
You hope that, and then you talk about taking a medical excuse, and the person says that also, are you, because you are the person who's going to travel, are you going to bring that medical excuse for the case to be delayed for your return? He said, no. The person should go, and so you're virtually asking the guy to go and engage in an illegality in order to buy time for you to return so that you guys can continue the case the way you want it to go. I mean, that for me was scandalous.
But you see, I'm just wondering, I mean, nobody can prescribe the length of time that it should take a professional organization like the Ghana Bar Association to comment on this matter. But this matter is so crucial to the integrity of the system of prosecution and education of justice that the Ghana Bar Association ought to study it and to comment on it as quickly as possible.
The leader of the bar obviously has an extremely high bar.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. So, Randy, the Ghana Bar Association cannot be silent on this matter.
Well, maybe it's early days.
The Ghana Bar Association ought to guide us and lead us in a discussion of this matter, which is at the base of the system of prosecution in our country. I mean, how can the Ghana Bar Association keep quiet on this matter? It cannot. And we are all expecting the Ghana Bar Association to comment on this matter. Randy, look, this is no joking matter. This is not an MPP-NDC matter. And I think that the MPP and NDC should stop making this an MPP-NDC matter. This is way beyond an MPP-NDC matter. It can happen to anybody. And in any case, people in the MPP must begin to reflect that it is just possible that in the next 5 to 6 months, they would not be in power. Now, if they are not in power and they are being prosecuted using these means and so on, how would they feel? How would they feel? And I don't want to go into all the legalese and so on, because if you look at the plea bargaining law, okay, the AG is stopped from even engaging with accused persons without the presence of their lawyer.
I've heard the spokesperson of the AG make the case that, and they refer to a meeting, that as at that time, the accused person didn't have a lawyer.
But that is useless talk. Randy, listen.
I mean, obviously, this tape,
because on the day this
is
tape
not
was
about
recorded,
that meeting.
this was the day before the accused person's appearance in court. And at that time, the accused person had a lawyer. So what are they talking about? Look, this matter cannot be defended. And anybody defending this matter throws some of the mud on themselves. Let the Ghana Bar Association study the circumstances of this matter, study the merit of the matter and so on, and come up clearly with a position. And I'm wondering how the Ghana Bar Association can endorse this kind of practice. How is it possible?
Well, let's hear Eric. I'm sure that he probably has some answers for us.
Good morning, Randy.
Yes, good morning, Eric.
I was actually on my way to the Volta region.
I was told.
Yes.
I was told. Thanks for making it.
Because we are continuing.
Are you taking some dynamite with you?
What is that?
Maybe some knockouts.
Yes, but I just got off. I was traveling as well, but I had to make it this morning.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so, and it's very clear as well, I haven't really followed too much on this particular subject. But then in the last, if you like, 24 hours, there's two statements coming from my own party, the MPP, and then also the NDC. And then there's a tape that's been actually discussed in contention. I mean, my general, if you like, orientation when it comes to these matters is that you also always like, I mean, Chrissy actually indicated, you have to be very careful when it comes to this commentary because you probably will not even have the full set of facts. Now, it becomes very difficult for me as a politician, and being very honest here. The moment there's a conversation that is tinged with politics, where you have statements coming from the NDC and then statement coming from the MPP, to sort of even be objective about the conversation in terms of what the motivation is, for example, when it comes to the NDC. I've had time to go through what it is that they are referring to. And if you're not careful, you might even delve into the cracks of the whole conversation, which is a case that is actually in court, and try to now prefer opinions on a matter that is still, as we speak, being decided by a court that, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't shown that they don't have the capacity to decipher all the information and come out with a verdict. And so for me, discussing a tape as to the contents and if it's really the case, and I mean, there's also the pushback that this particular tape is even doctored, will be very difficult because then progressing on the basis of conjecturing and then presenting a personal opinion on a matter that, as far as I'm concerned, is still being disputed. But again, because he even talks about the fact that the Ghana Bar Association should issue a statement and all of that. I don't even know how that works because, I mean, if the AG in question is actually the head of the same, if you like, fraternity, and what exactly is it that they are going to push? I'm sure that we have systems in place, either as the General Legal Counsel or other systems in place. I mean, even if you want to go a bit further, to actually get to the crux of this matter and proper investigation should be done. But now, once you have two major political parties all actually having a press conference over a 24-hour period, it's extremely difficult to even make any proper commentary on this matter. I mean, from the MPP's perspective, you realize that it's very clear that the NDC are trying so hard to either truncate the process or create a certain impression in the minds of the people that this thing is a persecution. And that's where sometimes I have challenges with how we communicate when it comes to these things. So in one breath, when it suits you, it becomes prosecution. In another breath, it becomes persecution. So, for example, even the NDC's own statement, they are claiming that in the unlikely event that they win power, they will prosecute the current Attorney General. Then you have a situation where the MPP is in power today and a certain minority leader is being taken through the same process. And then they're calling that persecution. You know, and if you're not careful, I mean, even in this whole political enterprise, I mean, people will lose confidence in the political class in terms of how we pick and choose, and we are expedient in our understanding of the very constitution that we say we want to be governed by. And that's why it's very difficult to sometimes have some of these conversations. Because, I mean, when you're being, I mean, even very objective, I mean, people even go to court having committed extremely heinous crimes. Then you have their family members and friends and whatever actually say that the courts have been, what do you call it to them? The courts have actually been unfair to these persons. And then you have people who are also victims of that same heinous crimes. And that is where we are taking our political discourse to. You know, so for me, I mean, I don't think that I have the capacity to delve into whatever it is that is supposed to be on that particular tape. But my caution is that we cannot pick and choose certain aspects of a democracy that we say we want to be governed by virtue of if MPP is in power or the NDC is in opposition. I mean, some of these things has to be governed by a certain tenets of and principles of rule of law. And if it's, well, that Atufosi, who is my friend, I mean, interestingly, is found not guilty, I mean, so be it. That's what the court processes are there for. If it goes through the process and the court finds him guilty or culpable of whatever it is that he has done, that's also the reason why the courts are there for, right? And so if you're not careful, then it becomes an MPP, NDC banter. And we move away from this whole conversation around making sure that people who are given opportunities to serve in the public space, even when it doesn't amount to what you call corrupt practices, are minded by the fact that they are there and their stewardship is supposed to be based on prudence, making sure that they are saving the public purse and they are making sure that decisions that they take does not affect the country unduly. Because, I mean, there are a number of examples that we can give when it comes to public service and decisions that have been taken that, for one way or the other, has not been able to, I mean, realize the projections and the targets that we're setting for ourselves. But, I mean, for me, this is early days yet. I think that there's even a caution. I'm not sure if it's authentic or not. There's a caution even from the courts that the actual conversation, actual matter in this.
The tape is not before court.
No, I'm not talking about the tape. I mean, but that's how the substantive matter, right? And so we have to be very careful not to probably even delve into that matter. And for me, if you go into even the NDC's press conference, what they're trying to do is to basically question the basis for the prosecution to start with and trying to create a system where it looks like the integrity of the Attorney General has to be questioned to now play into, it becomes a political expedient position that they are taking, right? And if you're not careful, I mean, what it means is that on the NPP side as well, we would definitely push back. And then you move away. I mean, and I like the position that's taken by Percy in terms of maybe the GBA or another agency or organization that has the capacity to actually get to the bottom of this should probably be given the mandate to do so. But if you're not careful, this thing can get drowned in a banter between the MPP and the NDC. And I feel that, I mean, if that happens, right, for us from the MPP side, we're not going to be taking, if you like, these moral lessons from an MPP, an NDC party. And then that, I mean, would lose the substance of this whole conversation. I mean, there are clear things there, for example, when it comes to how the judicial system is run and how people go through a legal process and what it is that needs to be done to make sure that we have a system that is foolproof. You have a system that ensures that it doesn't matter who is accused of something, has an opportunity to have their day in court.
Excuse me.
You know, to be honest, I feel quite restrained I'm aware of the loss of contempt and so on. I've practiced journalism, as I said earlier, for some time to understand the loss of contempt and so on. So we are all being very guarded in the commentary on this matter. There are many things that I would have liked to say, and I feel constrained, by the law and so on. But Randy, look, if this were the first and only case or any allegation against the Attorney General, maybe we can let it lie. This is not the first. There have been many, many other allegations against the Attorney General, this same Attorney General. One case, Martin Pebu, who is a reputable legal practitioner, has actually publicly alleged that the Attorney General told him that in the kitchen knife coup case, you remember, that he only added the name of Dr. Agozu of the police service because he wanted the matter to look weighty. And Martin Pebu says that they are witnesses, and so on. Now, that is even more serious than this, what is revealed by this thing. Just catch somebody that you know is innocent, add him to the list of accused persons, try him for several years, destroy his family and everything, simply because you want to make your case look weighty. How callous can you be? What disrespect to the law? Is Martin Pebu lying? Shouldn't we be investigating the allegations made by Martin Pebu?
No, but I disagree. I mean, people can make allegations.
So Martin Pebu is lying?
I don't know.
So let us go through the processes.
But the point is that to bring that up on this platform as a basis for questioning the integrity of the AG, for me,
this is the second time.
But what my point, my point is that Martin Pebu has made an allegation.
Yes.
And that allegation has been brought onto this particular platform.
Yes.
But as far as I'm concerned, it's an allegation that Martin Pebu has made.
No problem, I agree with you, it's an allegation.
Yes.
Is that allegation not worth investigating? That's the point I'm making.
But I'm not sure that this is a platform to...
Why not?
That kind of...
Why not? Today, as we are sitting here, I don't know what is going to happen in the next 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. I could become a target of prosecution. I've been prosecuted before. You understand? I've been prosecuted before. I've gone through prosecution before. I could be prosecuted again. If I'm going to be prosecuted, I expect a certain level of fairness.
I agree.
If we accept these and these become our traditions and so on, who can expect and receive justice in Ghana? That is my problem.
But you see, the principle
who
is
can
that,
expect
so
and receive justice in Ghana if these are our standards?
The person that you're mentioning that actually is saying that made that allegation in the public domain, allegations have been made against him as well.
No problem.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
no problem.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Allegations have been made against Martin Pebu.
Of course, there are lots of that. There are lots of allegations that have been made against him.
I'm not saying that Martin Pebu...
You see, and sometimes, for me, I mean, maybe I'm not playing naive here, but sometimes the motivation that comes from some of these commentary is problematic for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I even stated that. We are not discussing Martin Pebu, but even when issues of a certain, nature comes up, and is being discussed, depending on who is in office. It is okay. When it is being done as against another individual, it is persecution. You understand what I'm saying? So I've heard people, crying over everything. People should be persecuted. This is corruption. This is that. This is that. This is that. And yet, when that same thing is being done, then they question the rationale behind that particular thing that's been done because, as far as they're concerned, it's affecting somebody that is close to them, or it's affecting a political position or an expedient position that they have taken, or even a parochial interest. And if we cannot have a conversation in this country where we always claim that, let's put the national interest first, right? Yet all these considerations are masked with personal parochial interest. So, for example, I saw the minority do a press conference saying that they're going to investigate, or some monies have been paid to a contractor here or there. These are legitimate things that you should ask for. You know what I'm saying? Yet, in the same vein, we have so many examples, the likes of the STX and all of those things that has happened over a period. And Parliament, I'm using Parliament as an institution, has never come back and said that these are the things that we are going to put in place to make sure that if the country Ghana goes into some kind of arrangement or a contract with an entity, either local or foreign, these are the set of things that needs to be done to ensure that the country does not become disadvantaged if it doesn't go through or not. Because I can pick 400, 500 of these things.
I'm struggling to understand.
No, I'm just saying that.
You see, but that's okay.
No, I'm just saying that you have a situation where, depending on who is in opposition, right, certain things seem to be okay. Now, when they're in government, the same things that are being done are things that are acts of persecution. For example, there's Osei Rekubro Bay, even Asabi and Co. We're taken through a prosecution process by the NDC administration, and they were acquitted.
Eric,
right now,
Eric,
all of a sudden, you have an Atufosu being taken through a court process, and then that is persecution.
No.
Right? Asabi was stopped at the airport, was prevented from even traveling.
Eric.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That is the basis for my argument is that.
Please.
No, Chrissy, let me
please.
learn.
No, I should be learning.
Yeah, okay.
You interjected.
All right.
So I should be learning, not you.
Okay, I'll see to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Thanks a lot. You haven't heard me this morning say that NDC persons should not be prosecuted if they commit offense. I haven't said so. You haven't even heard me this morning calling for the prosecution of the Attorney General. I haven't said so. I'm saying that so far, serious matters have been revealed, which, if not properly investigated and authenticated, would undermine public confidence in the system of prosecution and adjudication of justice. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
Now, I'm saying also, you can attack the integrity of Martin Kpebu, you can do whatever you want. The fact is that Martin Kpebu is a senior practicing lawyer who has publicly stated that an innocent person was charged with an offense at the time that the AG knew that he was innocent, only to make his case look weighty. He has claimed that he has witnesses, and so that also goes to undermine, you understand, the system of prosecution and so on. So I'm saying that these matters need to be investigated. We need to establish the empirical basis for our reaction to all of this. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You understand? Now, I am worried, deeply worried. The Attorney General in our circumstances also happens to be the Minister of Justice. So it is not just his duty to prosecute, it's also his duty to ensure that all citizens of Ghana, MPP, CPP, PNC, whatever, can get justice. It's his duty to ensure that. Now, the person who is supposed to be ensuring that all of us have justice, listen to him on the tape.
So, Kwesi, just to interrupt you for a couple of minutes, and I'll entreat everybody to go read this opinion on page 17 of the Daily Graphic. It's a view expressed by Dr. John Osai Kwapon. He is a project director, the Democracy Project. Okay. And it's a little lengthy, but I think that is quite thought-provoking on this particular issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it says the minority leader in Parliament, Dr. Kessel Atuforsin, is charged with causing financial loss to the state and is currently standing criminal trial together with a businessman. This is no laughing matter because the consequences of being found guilty means the deprivation of their daily life and liberty routines. Given the stakes, such trials must be devoid of any actions or inactions that potentially raise doubts about the integrity of the process. I was reminded by a lawyer in discussing the allegations that, quote, it is a fundamental principle that justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. It is therefore extremely worrying, as reported, that during trial and under cross-examination, the third accused person in the case made the following statement. Quote, the AG has on several occasions engaged me at odd hours to help him make a case against A1, and I have evidence for that. If he pushes me, I will open the Pandora's box. I don't understand why the AG will accuse me of defending A1 when I'm here to defend myself. End of quote. Now, the statement has been interpreted to mean that the Attorney General has engaged in conduct designed to pervert the course of justice. This is a serious allegation. The Attorney General, and rightly so, has denied these allegations. I am willing to give the Attorney General the benefit of the doubt and trust the better angels in him. It, however, does not mean that there are no worrying points about these allegations. First, these allegations potentially taint the case. The accused persons are standing trial for having caused financial loss to the state. This is a law designed to fight corruption in government. Public officials in the course of duty must not engage in acts of corruption and harm the state. Therefore, if there are facts to suggest that a public officer has acted in contravention of the law, it is only proper to hold them accountable. But the integrity of the process is just as important, if not more, than the eventual outcome of the accountability process. Nothing about the process should give the slightest impression that something untoward happened along the way because of the desire for a particular outcome. Second, it reinforces the perception that such trials are politically motivated, even when they may not be. Any keen observer of our Fourth Republic will agree that the tendency is for current governments to hold accountable officials of previous governments and on matters of corruption. Essentially, post-regime accountability after change of government is more common than in-regime accountability. The usual response from political actors is that these trials are witch-hunting exercises. It may well be that accused persons are rightly being tried for having caused financial loss to the state. However, in the face of such allegations, citizens may end up questioning the state's motivation. Third, such allegations have implications for the confidence citizens have in public institutions and the judicial process. It is precisely because of this reason that I was quite worried at the posture of the spokesperson for the Attorney General's office in a media appearance on Joy News, The Probe. I understand the need to debunk the allegations, but it cannot be done with a posture that appears to be saying, this is really no big deal. The initial press statement released by the Attorney General's office, in my opinion, was sufficient for the time being. And if deemed not to be so because of the additional questions being raised, then any sort of public engagement on behalf of the office must be done in a way that recognizes the weight of these allegations, and as I have previously said, the consequences it has for public confidence in institutions and our judicial process. Fourth, I've often spoken about this notion of the appearance test versus the legal test. We often subject everything to the legal test by asking, did the conduct break any law? And once we can check off the boxes by answering no, then there is no cause for alarm. But it's the appearance test, how things look, that often chips away at public confidence in public officials and institutions. In my humble opinion, we tend to be too nonchalant and don't really care much about passing the appearance test. Public confidence in our institutions is currently too low to have it deteriorate any further. It's unclear at this point what will become of these allegations. Perhaps the various worrying points expressed here and by others are important enough to warrant a thorough examination to make sure that nothing erodes the confidence citizens have in this trial, but more importantly, in our justice system. And this is a piece by Dr. John Osai Kwapon, who's a project director, Democracy Project. So I just thought that there are some interesting perspectives in this.
I read this morning, even before I listened to the tape and read all the other reports. This was the very first thing that I read, And to a very large extent, I'm in agreement with the opinion which was expressed. I mean, this is a matter which raises substantial concerns about our governance system And we cannot allow it to just die and go away, you know. And this potentially can affect every citizen of this country. If we do not come to some agreement about what it means and how to ensure that it does not in any way harm the governance system, at least as far as state prosecution goes, and so on. Now, the point I was making earlier is about the additional responsibility of the Attorney General as Minister of Justice. So the Attorney General, is not his duty just to secure prosecution, just to secure convictions from the court. It is his duty also to ensure that every person he puts before court gets justice. Okay. Now, if you are arrested by the police and the police are taking your caution statement, which is usually presented in court, the police is duty bound to remind you of your rights, especially your right to counsel. And if the police fails to remind you of your rights, that statement has no value. You understand that? That's normal practice, even at the level of the police, at the police station. Okay. So how come that a day before the appearance of an accused person in court, the Attorney General engages him in a phone conversation about the substance of the charges leveled against him, without a reminder of his rights to legal counsel and so on, and in the absence of his lawyer? That alone is a big matter. That alone is a big matter. You understand? And look, we have all heard it said. We have all heard rumors and so on. This is the first time we are getting close to what appears to be evidence that some of these cases are determined in private houses. It's so shocking that on the face of it, you can appear to be facing normal prosecution and so on, but uncles, cousins, and nephews and so on can sometimes meet somewhere and do things which would affect judicial outcomes. The innocent judge is sitting in court. The innocent judge has not gone to any Supreme Court judge's house. The innocent judge might not even know about these conversations and so on. So this innocent judge sitting in court, she's sitting there innocent. And then they bring a medical report indicating that Jakpa is sick and cannot be in court. How is she to know that this is part of manipulation? Innocent judge. She knows the law. She wants to apply the law. She wants to do justice to all people who appear before her. These things happening in dark corners, in private houses, in cars, on telephone, and so on, they will all eventually affect the judgment. And then we sit at home and then sometimes begin to blame the judiciary when perhaps sometimes the judiciary is not even at fault. Look, this is a major development, and I think we ought to treat it as such.
All right, we'll be back shortly.
Introducing the new Jamal washing powder with multi-enzymes that helps remove stubborn stains.
It has a nice fragrance. Not harsh on my hands. Forms easily. And removes stains well.
Oh, I see to be.
You brought 5 big sachets of new Jama washing powder.
Yes, ma'am.
It really removes stains. It has a nice fragrance.
Yes, ma'am. Then add 30 sacks of Jama washing powder to your engagement list.
Hey.
Jama. Yes, ma'am.
New Jama washing powder for cleaner, fresher wash. Your partner for clean clothes. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a Missy Wayne.
Pacho Bantama.
Machasi.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer.
Nadabena minka me papa. Me twa 10 Ghana.
10 Ghana.
10 Ghana cedis.
No dia, say na obenya.
10 Ghana cedis no. Me dia. Me di 54,000 Ghana cedis.
54,000.
540 million.
Here. Bia the one na me twa me di e skasa.
Yeah. Ene na giga ade tena we. Tena wa boki. Draw no na start here no. Mami me volume.
Customer. One of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, of Kwesi Pratt Jr. and Eric Amwaku Chum. All right, so what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, us God and Mola got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing star 946 # on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats out in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesuku, Dakosomo Dam be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control of every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and you can reach Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. All right. You see, I'm sure that you've been following the issues with respect to SSNIT and hotels and all that. So the story broke 2 Fridays ago on the show when the Honorable Kujatua Blakwa actually informed us here that that very morning he had filed a complaint at the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Subsequently, Labour, SSNIT issued a statement to say that nothing untoward had happened and that they were also ready to cooperate with Shaj on the matter. Then Labour held a presser, and they also made some revelations to the extent that their reps on the board raised issues and asked for the thing to be halted, and that on their blind side, apparently things had been going on, and that they had sought audience with the president on the 6th of May. And as at when they were speaking, that this should be around the 20th of May, they were yet to hear from the president because apart from SSNIT, they had many other concerns about happenings at SSNIT. Subsequent to that, we've seen a statement from the Honorable Samuel Kujato in which he says that pursuant to the Public Order Act, Act 491, in fact, this is to the regional police commander, and he says that he wants to organize a demonstration on the 18th of June, Tuesday the 18th of June at 9 a.m. And the demonstration will commence in front of the Labadi Beach Hotel, proceed through La Palm, and is expected to end at the Jubilee House, where they shall present a petition to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Okay, so he speaks about all that. He says that despite the national outrage, unambiguous demands from organized labor and civil society organizations that the sale be stopped, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has refused to listen to the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians who have boldly condemned the sale. And he says, considering that the deal is about to be finalized and noting that the Agric Minister has been offering strange public justifications for his conduct, which reveal that government intends to continue with this petrifying arrangement, albeit with impunity, in this circumstance, as citizens, they are compelled to enter the next phase of their national resistance. And he says this June 18 public manifestation is one of numerous patriotic steps that they shall be embarking upon to save Ghana's strategic assets. And they say they hope they can count on the Ghana Police Service to cooperate in this defining matter of enormous public interest. Now, the end point for the demo is what caught my attention. But they say the Jubilee House, where they shall present a petition to the president. You recall that a couple of weeks ago, the Dumsor Vigil, the police went to court for an injunction because they thought that the Revolution Square was a security zone, and so they could not allow. But the case was heard on the eve of the intended date for the demonstration, and on that day, the police withdrew what they had filed, and so the demonstrators have indicated that they would fix a new date. I don't know if the police would object to this as well, but I haven't heard you on all these issues.
Yeah, I haven't been around. You know that. Yeah, last week, for example, I couldn't be on the show for various reasons. Yeah. But be that as it may, I think it's within the right of Honorable Okujato and persons like him to organize demonstrations, even if the topic is how to cook rice. You know, the Constitution guarantees them the full rights to organize demonstrations, and I wouldn't take that away from them. The issue at stake also has very grave consequences for all of us as Ghanaian people, for the state of Ghana and so on. And I think it is meritorious, you know, it's quite a meritorious issue. And therefore I would not have any problems with organizing a demonstration or any manifestation, you know, to protest that. However, there's something that I feel a little uneasy about. And please don't get me wrong, I feel a little uneasy about. Honorable Okujato Ablakwa is a very prominent member of a political party. Not just a very prominent member of a political party, he's also a member of parliament representing that political party in North Tong and so on. Now, if there's such grave issues over which there should be demonstrations, in what capacity does he organize these demonstrations? As an individual, as a member of parliament, as a prominent member of the political party, and so on?
Well, the letter to the police is on his MP letterhead.
So he's organizing it as MP.
Yeah,
but it's not, unfortunately, he's not MP for Accra. And the issue does not directly concern the people of North Tong. It affects every Ghanaian, but it's not a North Tong issue. So I think that these gray areas need to be sorted out. I mean, I've had occasion to commend him highly, and I still hold that view, that in terms of holding the state, public office holders accountable and so on, he's done so remarkably well. And I think he deserves tons of commendation. But there's some of these things that need to be sorted out, you know, properly. Now, with regards to the deal over which this protest is being organized.
You called on the GBA to act, eh?
Yes.
Okay, so our friend has said to this, he says, the Ghana Bar Association, we are watching them, we remember the manner in which they dealt with the former president of the GBA, Neo Samuels, who they dragged for unethical conduct. We are waiting to hear them on this one.
Well. You know, Randy, I'm not going to make any long commentary on this matter. Just to ask just a few questions. Why is it that people who get into government and want to own houses, there's plenty of vacant land around. Cement is still being sold to anybody who has money to buy it and so on. There are contractors there to build any dream houses and so on. Why is it that they always go for government lands?
In this specific case, it is SSNIT that has advertised that it wants a strategic...
I'm going to ask a series of questions.
Okay. All right, okay.
Why is it that they always go for government lands? And they always go for government lands when they are in power. Something...
They have access and they get it for cheap.
Fantastic. Okay, that's one. Now, if you want to own a hotel, why should you go for the government one?
The government is selling. SSNIT is selling.
Randy, it's not that simple.
No, I mean, SSNIT has advertised that it's selling.
It's not
the
that
man
simple.
is engaged in the hospitality industry. He has a hotel, which is expanding.
Mm-hmm. So, Randy, it's not that simple. And you know why it's not that simple? There are 6 hotels involved.
Yes.
Okay.
Now reduced to 4.
Okay. All of them cannot have the same problem.
True.
Okay. So how come that all of them have the same prescription, sells 60% of shares? That in itself is a problem.
Maybe they want to wash their hands off the hospitality part of the
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. But let's say that one hotel is operating at a loss.
The other is not.
Let's say that the other is breaking even. And let's say that a third is making minimal profit.
Yes.
They all do not have the same capitalization needs.
Yes.
So you cannot have a prescription, the same prescription for all 3 of them. In this case, SSNIT has the same prescription for 6 hotels.
Maybe it's using the ones that are doing well as a sweetener to get investors who might not be interested in those other ones.
Yeah, but they're buying into the entities.
Yeah.
They are not liquidating the entities to establish a new entity.
True.
So there's a huge problem. You understand? In any case, I think the most important point is just that these hotels do not belong to the people who are in government today. It doesn't belong to them.
Yes.
It doesn't belong to the management of SSNIT. These hotels, ipso facto, belong to all the people who make SSNIT contributions. And it's being managed on their behalf by those people who sit there as chief executives and so on. I think they should be careful. Look, I have seen so many things with privatization over the last couple of years that makes me very worried. We privatized over 400 industries on the assumption that private capital...
You mean couple of decades?
Yes, okay. Yes. On the assumption that private capital is more efficient and so on. Now, of all the 400 industries we privatized, only 2 of them survived in private hands. 2.
Really?
Yes. Ambassador Moving Peak and Golden Tulip, which has now changed its name. Lancaster. All the rest have collapsed in private hands. So this whole argument that industries and so on do better in private hands is hogwash. I mean, there's no evidence to back it. It's just hogwash. You understand? And I'm very worried about this move to privatize those 6 hotels, especially when we know that some of them are doing very, very well. Some of them have actually been paying dividend to government, and so I'm very worried about it, you know.
Okay. So, Eric, are you going to be in town this weekend?
I'm not too sure. I'm heading to.
This is you can get there.
I'm heading to. I'm heading to Volta as we speak, and then we'll do OT. I'm sure I'll be back Saturday evening.
So let me read this message. Then you understand my question.
What's that?
I must commend my brother Eric Chum this morning for his honesty and general view on the AG matter. He should not come to the golf course this week to change his mind. Moses Kandore.
It's a naughty boy.
I can tell that a lot of political arguments go on on the course.
I desist from discussing politics. I just go there to play golf.
Okay. All right, let's hear you on this matter.
Well, I mean, Randy, whilst Kwesi was speaking, I took my time to look at the composition of the SSNIT board. Yeah. And it's quite interesting that, I mean, it's a very varied composition. I mean, if you permit me, you have a board chair, who of course is appointed by the president, but you have a rep from the Ghana Employers Association, rep from Organized Labor, another rep from Organized Labor, another rep from Organized Labor, another rep from Organized Labor, a rep from SSNIT Pensioners Association. There's a president nominee, one president nominee, a rep from the Ministry of Finance, and then the Director General, then you have a company secretary. And these are the persons who are actually responsible for, who are board
So the president and government has about 6.
Yes, but you have representation from organized labor.
The labor has 4.
Yes, I'm thinking that sometimes when these conversations happen, when it comes to proper, corporate governance conversations in terms of how you are even able to make entities like the one that we are discussing agile and able to meet the demands of present-day hotel and hospitality industry standards. There are a few things that you have to go through. And like Kwesi indicated, a lot of these entities have actually been run aground or are basically not what they used to be. And so SSNIT makes a decision that it wants to bring on board some strategic partners to inject new resources and also a certain orientation to make them successful. And there's a certain obsession with owning 100% because, from my corporate experience, sometimes the 40% would actually be worth more than the 100% in terms of how you're able to now generate revenue and then scale to a certain level. And so I'm not sure exactly what it is that we're discussing. And then, again, the conversation has now delved into...
When I listen to Honorable Kujato Ablakwa and Labour, they are raising issues with due process.
Yeah, so that, for me, I think that...
There's also a certain morality.
True.
Yeah,
about people in government selling state assets to themselves.
But you see, I have a challenge. I have a challenge with that. And the reason why I have a challenge with that is that in as much as you have an individual who is politically exposed, you also have persons who are business people who find their way into politics. Now, that's the reason why even in Parliament they have a rule. I think that they have the profit and I've forgotten what it's called, but they have a committee that actually...
You apply.
You apply.
Yes.
So that you're able to indicate clearly what your business interests are, and then Parliament gives you the opportunity to do so. You have to be very careful.
Interestingly, one of the issues that Honorable Abu Ablakwa raises is the fact that he has checked and has confirmed that the Honorable Minister has not applied.
Yeah, in this part,
yes,
on every particular aspect.
As far as this particular Parliament is concerned, yes,
right,
he hasn't applied. So he has the names of all those who have been applied and who have been granted permission.
Well, I won't really know why, but maybe because the transaction itself has not been finalized. But so we have to be very careful in terms of how we proceed with these things. And my challenge, and I remain consistent on this conversation, is that the moment there's a certain political angle to it, then I was expecting that the Honorable Ablakwa would do a demonstration that would ask SSNIT to reverse all transactions that has done in the past with persons who are supposed to be politically exposed people. Then you realize that whatever it is that he's doing is anchored in some values and principles. That's what we should do. Because, if you don't do that and you have issues with due process, for example, those are legitimate concerns that you can raise. And SSNIT as an entity has the responsibility, right, to make us aware, apprise us with the processes that they went through so that we can all appreciate these things. Then the good thing is that the Honourable himself sits in Parliament. So nothing stops him from actually asking SSNIT.
Well, Parliament is on recess.
Exactly. No, but what I mean is that from SSNIT to presenting Parliament as an institution with the full set of facts.
What I'm making is that Parliament is on recess.
I agree.
And what he has said is that he wants to prevent the consummation of this deal.
Yeah, but you see, that's where I have a challenge with. Right. And the reason why I have a challenge with that is that if there's a certain, if you like, a lack of due process, right? Going on a demonstration does not necessarily prevent that, because as far as if it's gone through a certain legal process and between SSNIT and the entity that they're signing this arrangement with, as far as they're concerned, is legal, all that you're going to apply is either moral suasion or public opinion.
It's going to shrine
exactly
on the question of conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
It says that Labour itself has asked that government stops this thing until they have met with them and all that. But he realizes that despite all this and the views by Ghanaians, the deal is still going ahead. And so he wants to move the next step, have a mass mobilization, a protest, and send a petition directly to the president.
But it's the hypocrisy and the double standards that I have a challenge with. And I'm saying that if we had woken up...
Are you aware that 16 years ago, it was Honorable Kujetu and Dr. Omani Buama who went to court. As far as the Supreme Court.
You see,
on this particular issue.
Okay. You see, and that's why I'm saying that. If I had woken up this morning and I'd seen a letter from Ablakwa, Honorable Ablakwa, saying that he's doing a demonstration and that we should actually go into all the transactions and the contracts that have been signed by SSNIT in respect to hotel sales and properties that are SSNIT owned that were given to political appointees, present and past. I will join that demonstration.
How can you reverse that?
But
that would be the height of tomfoolery.
Why?
Deals that have been consummated ownership. How are you going to reverse that?
That is why I'm saying that. You see, in this country, sometimes we pretend to be trying to fix certain things. The issue,
Eric, why are we not interested?
Why
are we not interested in establishing whether what is being done is above board and it's okay?
That is why.
The issue of whether somebody raised the issue 30 years ago or 40 years ago does not mean that if today something is going wrong,
no, Randy,
it should not be raised.
With you on the basis of due process. Where I have a challenge with is the fact that we have to set clear rules and guidelines when it comes to these things.
So there are rules and there are guidelines. There are
political.
There are.
You know something? And those rules and guidelines should be strictly adhered to.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because in one breath, we have a situation where, so let's encourage Ghanaian businesses. There's a Ghanaian entrepreneurs. No, but
and not government ministers.
Yeah, but we've had so many examples of these things where, at one point, again, the same issues of double standards and all that. If certain things are being applied to the letter, it's saying that, why don't you leave some leeway? Randy, we used to have a favorite phrase, the human face, because it's a Ghanaian business, a Ghanaian entity. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then in another breath, we say, no, let's apply it to the letter because it is Eric Chum that is being spoken about today. And I'm saying that when you do that, right, it confuses even the citizenry to the point that, okay, at what point do we have a system where somebody is, digressing a bit, is a minister of, let's say, energy, right, and owns a string of OMCs. Do you understand? Do we have a system in place like that to ensure that that individual, for example, will not be able to, one, use insider information and all? Because in other jurisdictions, there are clear guidelines when it comes to these things. So that in 10 years' time, myself and you, Randy, will still not be sitting and having a conversation with maybe another minister or another public appointee or whoever, who, by dint of what they have done in terms of experience or whatever, decided, there's this entity that I feel that I have the capacity to re-engineer and make more profitable, and we are having that conversation. That's all that I'm saying.
So my point is that, you see, I hear you. And I also believe that there are sufficient laws, regulations, rules, best practice that are available. So, for example, if the rule says that a minister or a member of parliament to engage in any office or office for profit, you must apply to the speaker. There's a committee that looks at it. They make a recommendation to the speaker. If the speaker is okay with it, it's approved, which then presupposes that one, the state is aware of this office for profit that you hold. So you've made that disclosure and you've been allowed to continue engaging in that business. If you've done that. If two, you are involved in any transaction and the laws don't bar you specifically from getting you or a company you're associated with from getting into that transaction. And the transaction itself follows due process in terms of all the laid down rules. If it is procurement law, if it is whatever, it follows everything. And you, on the basis of the success of your bid, you win it, you've won it fair and square. Everybody who follows the process and reads the correspondence and everything on it would know that, look, indeed, everything was above board and the person's company deserved to win and they've won it. And it will be the end of the matter. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I really don't see...
For me, it will not be the end of the matter.
Well, okay, I was expressing my opinion. So
yes. We cannot elect you to go and safeguard our interest in our businesses, and then you own up as owner of the businesses.
No, but you are selling. You are selling.
Who is selling?
You government. SSNIT says that is selling.
Yes, the people we elected sell it to themselves. That's the problem.
But Kwesi,
the people we elect end up selling
the number of
things to themselves.
The number of public officials. Let me put this across. I don't have a problem if we say that any politician or any person who serves in government should not. I don't have a problem. I will not argue against it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is your choice. If you know you're a businessman and there is this rule, and you feel that rule will inhibit your business, you stay there, don't come. So I won't have a problem if that is there. But to the extent that there is no clear rule which says that if I have a legitimate business and I hold a political office and there's a transaction which is above board and it's transparent and everybody can see that, look, it was transparent above board and a company I'm associated with genuinely emerges the winner, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it.
Andy, except that there's a history.
Okay.
Which we cannot ignore.
Okay.
You understand? And in this particular case, I don't think that just the SSNIT board can make the decision without reference to cabinet. I don't think so. Now, here's the cabinet member. Now, if the issue went to cabinet, did he sit in the cabinet meeting? What was his position? All those are ethical questions, okay? And Randy, right now as we sit here, I don't know the last time you went to Labone. Have you been to Labone recently?
Every day I drive through Labone.
Have you driven in front of the South African High Commission?
Yes.
Have you seen what is happening there? Are you happy with it?
No.
This is what we are talking about.
Not even here, this neighborhood here.
All the government bungalows in front of the South African embassy have been privatized. Who is buying it?
Maybe private people.
All the public and civil servants who used to live there, where are they? And so on. So this is the principle. And I've been talking about Rich Hospital over a long period of time. The colonialists who built that European hospital, the Rich Hospital used to be the European hospital, you know that, was sensible enough to recognize that there could be emergencies in the future and so on. So the doctors should stay around the hospital. And they built bungalows around the hospital where the doctors were staying and so on. Today, people who come into government have bought all of those bungalows, broken them down, and built monstrous structures. So now you have a situation where a doctor at Rich Hospital may be staying at Kasoa. If there's a national emergency, how does he get to the hospital to offer help? He may be staying in Buri and in Sawam and so on. You understand? So all of this are issues that we have to deal with.
Yes.
All of these are issues.
So, Kwesi, shouldn't we be then taking a firm position on, let's say, diversity? I'm saying that, no, you see, the point I'm making is that if I go through, and Honorable Blackwell took the pains to take us through the entire thing, and I'm saying that they raise his complaint, they raise breaches, and the SSNIT press conference also raises, apart from the moral question, they raise issue because you see, when Honorable Blackwell raised the thing, there was this thing about SSNIT has reps on the board, Labour has reps on the board. What were Labour's reps doing there when this thing happened? Only for Labour to tell us that they were opposed to it. They asked the thing to be for the thing to be halted. It's not been halted. We've not seen any rebuttal of that from the SSNIT board to say that it is not true. This is the correspondence. There was either a majority decision or they did not oppose it at the board, or they've not come. There's not been a rebuttal of that position, which even makes it a bit more confusing, especially with respect to the due process thing. There's the angle of some minority shareholders in one or two of these hotels who had also raised issues about due process and all that. So for me, those are the issues. You understand me? Those are the issues that we must deal with. Because when you have those issues and there is a public official involved, people will believe it, irrespective of everything, that look, it has to do with the influence of that public official. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
That is why all those issues ought to be dealt with, and then we'll be able to find out whether indeed the allegations of due process not being followed and all that are true or untrue. Then we can move on. The bigger picture is that if we think that we ought to stop the divestiture, or there must be a different way of engaging in divestiture and not the way it's been done, we can also speak about that. But until that is done, we always have redevelopment 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to happen. I mean, when the cantonments and labonis and airports are finished, we'll be moving gradually towards OEB and Kwabenya and everything. We'll be getting there. Then now we are moving the people who at cantonments are there, we are moving them to Kwabenya and OEB and others. Very soon, we'll move them from OEB and Kwabenya to Asesewa.
But I mean, Randy, that in itself is a concept of what it is that we want to do with the development. And even what you want to do with like a smart city development, what do you want to do with Accra, for example, in the long term, right? So we can have those conversations maybe at a later date.
Interestingly,
Accra,
this has nothing to do
interestingly, we use this concept.
This is plain stealing of
we use this concept to justify what we are doing.
I'm just saying that.
Accra redevelopment. Sometimes should be done. Smart city, this, that. Smart city, they'll come and put some 2 posts with cameras somewhere, say smart city. By the time you realize, oh, don't go me.
What is happening in Laboni? It's really worrying.
The boy on the street is formatting. The big man up there is also formatting. You're fraudy who in this country. What kind of town is this? Anyway, gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Randy.
Up next, GMG Trends.
Just like how water refreshes you on a hot sunny day, it takes a refreshing bath with a Life soap to feel its pleasant fragrances.
The soap I want and need at the end of every day,
leaving you with soft, smooth and fresh looking skin.
You make me feel alive, you really brighten my day, my day.
Available in lemon, coconut, rose and aloe vera fragrance. A Life soap. Feel fresh, feel alive.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi, Starboy. Desi.
Look, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Are you ready with your announcement? But yesterday you said you had an announcement.
Yeah. I'll make it.
You have been talked out of it.
Oh, last everybody go here. So,
huh?
Last everybody go here. Yeah, I go do.
What's that?
Look, I've not been talked out of it.
Okay.
Anyway, good morning. That's quite nice. Hey. Okay. Let's go. So John Duvallo is in the news.
Why?
There's a video circulating about an incident that happened at Legon where during the limited voter registration exercise, and not so much explanation. Of course, a lot of narratives going on that he wanted to beat somebody or there was a scuffle. But let's just watch the video and see what happened at the place. Like the guy vexed, but it's part of life. Let's watch John Duvallo. Yeah, so looks like that was that.
So what's wrong?
Oh no, it's just in the trend, and of course,
they are doing registration and the stakes are high.
At this point, they say they don't for big time plus.
They don't be that about matter. I'm telling you.
It don't be selling me too much.
No.
Yeah, so that's going with the trend.
1 man, 1 vote.
Of course, for the other side, the NPP, there's a narrative. Like I said, they're pushing that. This is the kind of I want to put. Those kind of things. But yeah, at the end of the last. Ubufu. I just said.
Please.
So that has got in the trends on X, and also on all the other platforms. You see him on there. So moving on, an incident happened at Spintex yesterday. Daylight robbery.
Okay.
Daylight robbery where 2 gentlemen on a motorbike went to a savings and loan place. The guy he just came to park the car and they attacked them, 1 in shots, and they left the scene. Let's see the CCTV.
Following.
The CCTV footage of that one. So this is what has got Spintex on the trend this morning because of this incident that happened in that particular area. Very, very sad one. Look.
The police will find them.
Yeah. Have to. It looks like they had an information.
Yeah, obviously they were following the person and they knew what was in the car.
Yeah.
And so they went straight
to the car.
Went straight
for it. So that has also been in the.
They were following. You watch. They were just following, and they knew exactly what was in there, what they were going for. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. So you see the motorbike coming in, give the warning shot, and then so hopefully the police will be able to arrest them, and But Doc, is there a way we could, like, you could see that people are following you like that?
There's a way. the way sometimes to, I mean,
sometimes
depending on what's on the person's mind.
Yeah.
And,
anyway, that's a sad one. The police will definitely work on that. But let's talk about Lil Wayne. You know his movie, A Country Called Ghana. He's been on it, promoting it and all that.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, he was supposed to be premiered in Kumasi.
Yeah.
And there was an accident involving himself and another vehicle. And he got injured, but still put up to the Great Tour at KNUST for the premiere with a huge bandage on his face. But a 3-year-old child who was in the other vehicle with his father has passed on. And the child was buried yesterday with the father also having some fractures to the leg. And a lot of commentary on socials were about the fact that, Lil Wayne allegedly was driving recklessly and all that. But Weezy Empire, the management released a statement that those allegations are not true, and their own manager, including their bouncer, are also fighting for their lives. So that's a very sad one. The Theo child was buried yesterday. The family is not happy. They say that they would definitely follow up and sue Lil Wayne in that sense. But really, really sad one. This accident and all of these things that are happening. It's paragraph 4 and 5 for me in the letter for Lil Wayne. I thought that was quite insensitive. From them. If reading it here, it says that as much as we are saddened and traumatized, we find unwarranted allegations of neglect on our part, as speculated by some commentators, very distasteful and disturbing at this troubling time. We want to state categorically that we were unclear about the extent of the damage from the accident because our artist, manager, and bouncer suffered life-threatening injury. So if you are debunking them, then what have you done? That's what I was thinking, that you say that we have followed up with the family or something like that so that it clears the air on what exactly the situation has been. But anyways, we'll wait and see what happens with that. So Lil Wayne is in the trends this morning. His movie, A Country Called Ghana, was premiered in Kumasi, and this incident happened. Now, away from that, let's talk about football, because Black Stars today, substantive head coach, Coach Otuado, whose name has called for the upcoming qualifiers. That's going to be in a few minutes at the GFA headquarters, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things on social media. You see them rolling. Some say that it's there's an end to an era for Black Stars captain Andre Ayew, speculating that he may not be called up. Others are also saying that Callum Hudson-Odoi has accepted to play for the Black Stars. There's some new names to be seen in there. So those are some of the things that people are hoping to see with the names that will be put out by the head coach of the team, Otto Addo. So we'll wait on that as we get ready for the qualifiers against Mali there. So this one says Razak Abalora must be in the squad. Himself and Atizigi are the only Ghanaian goalkeepers playing actively every weekend. Richmond Boache writes in that. And Abdul Momen, Brandon Asante, Derek Con, if we don't see these names, we ain't going anywhere. So Black Stars, they're waiting for the list. 11 a.m. Definitely will be bringing more of that to you on Metro Sports this afternoon. So this morning into the afternoon. So please watch out for that. So Doc, that's what's been the news. Coach Otuado, full-time coach now.
All right. Okay. This is a country called Ghana.
Nice one. This is a country called Ghana. Anyway, so today's 29th. Next month, June, is my birthday. 16th June is my birthday. Yeah, so I'm happy about it. And I'm also, excited.
Your birthday falls on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's on a Sunday. And I'm Kwesi also. So it's
how come? Oh.
Yeah. No, oh, no, Kwesi also?
Yes.
Oh, that explains it, It's a father and son affair, already. So, yeah, I'm Kwesi, and my birthday falls on 16 June.
We are Koshi.
Okay, well. That's what we go call me. What will call you, Kwesi? So.
Koshiva.
Yeah. Oh, Melefi. So I'm excited about that. 16 June. And then, of course,
are you soliciting for gifts? The way you're mentioning 16.
Oh, that means I'm getting to my birthday. I'm talking about the other thing too is that by God's grace.
Write it down.
It's a Sunday. So it's that by the Friday I forget all the gifts.
All gifts must reach you by Friday the 14th.
Yes. Okay. So signed by the Star Boy. Of course, you can bring it to the next day.
That's the weekend we'll be burying my cousin Philip and his mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14th, 15th, 16th.
That's life, you know. Yeah, and of course, the announcement is that Desi the Star Boy is ready to tie the knot. Hey! So,
what did you say?
Desi the Star Boy is ready to tie the knot.
You're going to tie the knot, or you are ready to tie the knot?
I am ready, and I am going to.
So you are getting married?
So I'm getting married. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To who? To Kumasi.
To Kumasi.
Yay, Charlie. Oh, you're an honest man. You're an honest man. So I owe you a gift for that.
To Kumasi. So that's like the.
So when?
So it's going to be on the 29th. So it's exactly a month. Yeah. Exactly a month from today.
So you are going off the market?
Yeah, I'm off the market. Somebody has bought me.
If I are off now?
I'm off now. Somebody has bought me.
Okay.
Yeah, so. That one to all.
Mr. So we now call you Mr.
Desmond Okrekudanso.
Mr. Okrekudanso.
Yes.
From the 29th or from 30th?
Yeah, from 30th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Okrekudanso. Oh, you've done well.
When then?
So is Annie aware?
She's aware now.
She's aware. Charlie. We'll intensify our prayers.
I will share the link.
I hope Annie is not watching or listening. Anyway, up next, Metro Sports.
They came with grace and elegance, sophistication, sweetness and charm. They came in contention for the Model International. Auditions are over, and 30 determined and magnetic personalities made it through to the next stage, the quarter